All praises to Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. And this is going to be a video on how, if you're paying attention, right? If you're paying attention, you can see that with 100% certainty, Yahweh has set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, man. Right? And I've been recently getting recommended videos, and a lot of them have been these whole UK protests, right? And then there's been protests in Babylon the Great as well, which is America, right? And there's even been protests in other countries. And it's funny because whenever the protest is an Edomite, you never have Edomites complaining about the method and about the language used to protest, man. But whenever it's us, they was always quick to run their mouth. They're always quick to try and throw some shade on it, and it's unjustified. But whenever it's them, it's always justified. If they're throwing a metal gate at an officer, oh, that's justified, and they'll say, oh, the police was antagonizing. But then they don't ever think that the police antagonized us, though, do they? They don't want to accept that the police, like, they'll accept that the police are doing dodgy things and that the government's against them. Oh, the government's against us. It's just throwing us under the bus, mate. They're against us. They're throwing us under the bus, mate. They're not giving us free speech. We can't ever say anything. Okay, you accept that they can do that to you then. But every single time we was complaining and saying that they was doing these things to us, you didn't believe us, did you? You thought, nah, you're just making an excuse because you're black and you can't afford it. You're black and you ain't got a job. You're black and you ain't got this. You're black and you just need to get better. You know what I mean? They always had an excuse whenever it was us, man. But let's go to this. Let's go to this. Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 1. The burden of Egypt. Behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence. And that's talking about Yahweh's going to send Yahweh Shai to this earth on a big ass chariot, man. Coming right into Babylon the Great. During World War III. Yahweh's going to send him there, man. Right? And then we're going to see how proud you people are. Because it's gonna be at a time during Jacob's trouble when you're gonna have produced a lot of affliction and a lot of hurt on the children of Israel, man. A lot of hurt and a lot of like pain is gonna be brought to the children of Israel at that time, man. A lot. And at that time, Yahweh is gonna send Yahweh Shai to the earth, and by Yahweh Shai showing up, it's gonna be as though Yahweh showed up himself, because Yahweh Shai looks like Yahweh, but it's not gonna be literally Yahweh that's gonna show up. Yet Yahweh is going to show up through Yahweh Shai showing up, man. If you can understand that. And the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. All of you Edomites are going to be crying in that time, and you're going to be scared to death. Because even when you go to, there's two scriptures, right, in the Bible for Achiam to note this, that I've noticed this, man. There's two scriptures, man. And so lucky if my memory don't serve me correctly here, but it's Revelation 1 and 7, right? Revelation 1 and 7, and I'll go to it, in fact, And if you don't believe me on this, you can go and look and check for yourself for those people that actually understand these things. But then for newer people, like just know this. I'm gonna read it anyway. Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so, Amen. Now, the word for kindreds in Revelation 1 and 7 is the same word that we always go to as Israelites in Revelation 7 and 9, right? That phule, which means in the New Testament, all people descended from one of the 12 tribes of the patriarch Jacob. So this verse, although it's going to be a thing that everyone's going to experience, it's going to mean more to the Israelites, either good or bad, at the when the Messiah Yahweh Shai returns, because he's not everyone's Messiah, he's our Messiah. So when he returns, the Israelites that believe in him are going to receive a release of their faith being justified, right? Their boldness is going to be justified. But to those Israelites that didn't believe on him, their scoffing is going to be broken. And they're going to realize that all the times that they were scoffing and running their mouth, they should have believed in him, right? They're going to be tears, man, weeping and gnashing of teeth. Because they're going to be like, man, what the hell, man? I was scoffing this, but look at him. Look at how amazingly beautiful he is. Right? Just look at him. And this is what I was scoffing, but look at how the whole world's literally stopped because he showed up. The whole world heard his voice shout, and the whole world went to fight against him. All the armies of the earth have went to fight against him, and this is who I was scoffing against. They're going to be cut to the soul, man. Now, there's that scripture that mentions the word phule, right? And then there's this scripture as well. Because although the coming of the Yahushua to the earth is going to be a big thing for everyone on the earth, it's going to be even worse for the Israelites, man. The Israelites are going to be the main nation affected by the return of Yahushua because we're going to be the proof that we are actually not the dirtbags and the losers that the world tried to make out that we are. Is going to be proven to both the Israelites that was scoffing and all the heathens that were running their mouth, and to all the believers. They're going to get the true proof. Like, our faith is going to be shown if we're those people. Our faith is going to be shown that it wasn't just faith. We were just actually knew what we was talking about. Like, our faith's going to be proven. Let me say it like that. Our faith's going to be proven in that time, to the point where now all you other people ain't going to need to try and mock, ain't going to be able to mock our faith, because our faith's now going to have proof, right? Once faith's got proof, it wasn't just a Bible rumor now, was it? Once faith's got proof, it wasn't just a silly, you indoctrinated, you brainwashed. No, now it's, oh man, how did these guys have such a long foreknowledge above everyone else? That's when it starts to not become funny no more. And then when you start to remember all the things of all the parts of the doctrine of the Hebrew Israelites, that's when it's going to get even worse. That's when you people are going to start thinking back and be like, damn, they said they was going to fly. You're going to see us do that? Damn. They said they was going to go upside our head when we get that power, when Yahushua returns, but not before. Damn, he's returned. So I guess now our heads are going to get gone upside of. Damn, they said that we was going to have rusty chains and be itching in them. Man, I guess that's going to happen. Damn, they said that our women wasn't going to deal with us no more, and that our women was going to be Karens towards us, like how the so-called black woman was a Karen towards them. And we're going to be through. Like, all... man, all those attractive Edomite women that exist in this world, which if you want to be one of them brothers that be like, nah, they're all red dragons, that's up to you, fam. There's Edomite women on this earth that are attractive. There's women that are of every single nation that are attractive. But I'm talking about the Edomite women right now. And not because I worship them or that. This is just a thing that Esau's going to experience that's going to be funny. All these attractive Edomite women right now that love Esau to death and are siding with him in the kingdom when he doesn't have that power, they're going to be cooning. They're going to be trying to run away from Esau for one moment of peace. And that's going to... oh, man. Esau is really going to be having a bad day, man, in the kingdom, man. He's going to have a bad millennium. You understand? The millennium of pain, man. A Chiliad of pain. A Chiliad, man. How do you... Chiliad, Chiliad. And it means a group of 1,000 things, man. A Chiliad of pain. A millennium of just getting judgment, man. They're going to have a real bad time now. All you people, don't try and get on your high, see how they're talking. Because you've did that to us. You've always been there to cause us affliction, man. And then you want to say, oh, it wasn't me, it was our forefathers. We don't even have to talk about no forefathers. We can talk about what you've did on this earth. About how you always, like, what happened. These people don't understand, man. Every single time one generation of Edomites perished, all they did is hand over the baton to you, and you carried on the relay race, man. You were their tag team partner. They tagged you in, and you didn't be like, you know what? I'm not gonna reduce the whooping that was happening that my tag team partner did to this guy. Oh, I'm gonna add more. That's what you did. That's what a tag team partner does in a wrestling match, right? When they get tagged in, they don't be like, you know what? I'm gonna stand him up and dust him off and make sure that he's okay. No, they start stamping on him too in them WWE matches, man. They start adding on more pain, and that's what you did to us. You realize that we'd had our nationality stolen, and you're like, yeah, but they've still got their health, so let's still see what we can do about that, shall we? Okay, we've took the nationality away from them, and they don't know that they're Israelites at this particular moment. They're women, but their women are still with them. So let's see what we can do about that, shall we? What ideas can we come up with to make their woman not be siding with them? Let's make feminism, right? Oh, they're captives and they are slaves now, right? And their woman's not with them anymore, but they're still producing babies because their woman still deals with them whenever she wants them, and still kind of deals with them more than anyone else, right? So let's see what we can do about that, shall we? You know what? Let's produce a whole thing called planned, you know what hood, planned, you know what hood, yeah, and that's gonna be about unaliving their children. But then, okay, there's gonna be a bit of a ricochet with everybody else as well, but who cares? So yes, we are gonna laugh when the Egyptians are set against the Egyptians now. We are gonna laugh about that. We're not gonna be sad because look at all the things that you've did to us. You always, every single time, did more and more. You always added on more. The generation that was before you didn't need to put us on no Atlantic slave ships, man, because we'd already went through that part. But then afterwards, you still did things to destroy us further because we're a resilient people, man. All the things that we've went through, and we still found out we're Israelites. We still remembered. It was still brought back to our mind who we are, despite all the things that you did to us, man. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 30, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. Now again, this word tribes here is that word that we read in and quote from Revelation 7 and 9, Thule. So it's going into how, more specifically, the Israelites are going to mourn, man. The Israelites are going to mourn at the return of Yahweh Shai for good and bad. So if we're going to be mourning, right, and this is why I read this, and I'm going to carry on, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Now, if the Israelites are going to be mourning at the presence and the return of Yahweh Shai, right, well then what are these Edomites going to be doing? It's not even in Jeremiah, it's Isaiah, right? What are these Edomites going to be doing there? If we're going to be mourning, and we're going to be either tears of joy or tears of sorrow and distress, then what's Edomites going to be doing, man? Just look at what these Edomites did when CK perished. Look at how much they bugged out. Look at how much Edomite women bugged out when Nero became in charge. Just look at how some of them bugged out, man. Look at how Edomites bugged out when that other woman was trying to become, when that woman was trying to become president, man. Look at all the things that they were saying if she wins that they're gonna do. Look at all the things that they were saying. So when it goes down, when your Howard Shai shows up, you think they ain't gonna cry? You think that they ain't gonna be people that are having a cardiac arrest? You think that they ain't gonna be people that might have a stroke? You think that they ain't gonna be people that might try and quick time jump off a cliff? You think they ain't gonna be people that are gonna take their last bullet and use it on themselves, man? There's gonna be people that are gonna do a whole lot of things thinking that they're escaping a judgment. You ain't escaping nothing. There's gonna be people that are gonna be trying to do all kind of things. There's gonna be people that are gonna think that they can try and be nice to an Israelite. Now, I'm so here. Do you want reparations? Oh man, I could picture it. Edomite having the nerve to try that. As soon as Yahweh Shai shows up, thinking, "Oh, so about that reparations, yeah, we'll give you all that money that you wanted." Oh yeah, will ya? Well, it's ours anyway. The time of you being in charge of those funds is long gone. You know what about? And it ain't gonna be no paper notes. Where the gold at? Where's the gold at, man? Where's the silver at? Where's the real cash at, man? Not no money with your ugly face on there. Where's the real bread at, man? Where's the bread at? Where's the spread at? Where's it at, man? That's what we're gonna find, and we're gonna be able to know where it is. Yahweh Shai is gonna know where it's at, man. You Edomites ain't gonna be able to even talk in front of Yahushua. I don't picture that Edomite would even be brave to speak and open their mouth. Y'all are gonna be able to sense the testosterone flying out of him, man. Never mind what King David would do, he's gonna do to you. No, you've already got big, like, even just what King David's gonna do when he comes down here is gonna be horrible enough for you Edomites. Never mind Yahushua. Like, you're gonna have the lowest level Israelite, the lowest level of Israel that's now of the elect. What he's gonna want to do to you, he's gonna be scary enough. Never mind what the Israelite just above him is gonna think. Then you got the lowest number of the 144,000. Then you got the top one of the 144,000. Then you got the lowest one of the 12. Then you got the top one of the 12. Then you got King David. Then you got Yahushua. Like, you've got so much coming your way, you Edomites, man. I can understand why you're running and trying to do all the things you're going to do. It's still not going to stop anything. The Egyptians are set against the Egyptians. So you're running your mouths talking all this stuff about what you want to do to us. But you've still, in order to get to us, you still got to go through your own people as well. Then you still got to get through all these other countries that you're aggravating. You're wearing yourself, you're spreading yourself too thin, mate. You're spreading yourself way too thin. You've got a 2-minute, everyone's your enemy. You've been made small among the heathen and greatly despised. Everyone's against you. And that's what you don't understand. Verse 2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. That's talking about an Edomite against an Edomite. And if you're paying attention, they definitely are set against each other. They do it in the street with rainbow-colored hair, walking backward into other people. Hey, Satan! Off our state! Spazzing out, getting their ponytails, grabbed and dashed on the floor by another fellow Edomite. Getting elbowed in the jaw, roundhouse kicked in the ribs. Right? Spazzing out. Going up to each other and recording each other. I'm not touching you, with a body camera on. Going up to each other, antagonizing each other for YouTube, for gets the money. But eventually that's going to turn even more physical than it already turns. To the point where it's going to be actual unalivements by some of them, because these people are bugged out, man. I've been I've been paying attention to some of them things. And those people that are at those places are lunatics, man. Both sides, what they want to try and come, oh, the left, oh, the right. They're both bugged out, as far as if you ask me. And even if you don't ask me, they're both bugged out, man. Whether you ask me or not, I'm telling you. They're both bugged out. Both sides are through. They're lost, man. Some rainbow-haired freak with a ponytail, with a sign promoting T-Rans, right? And then you got on the other side some bug out marching, talking about get them all out, mate, right? With 2 strongbows in a hand and a tenant super, drinking on the street. Don't even know why they're there. As far as they're concerned, it's just a day out, man. And they're there, oh, states, our state, oh, states, our states. And then the other side saying the same thing as well. Oh, states, our state. They bugged out, man. And they are your streets because you're Edomites. But guess what? The world's ours as Israelites, man. So you're there steady fighting to be British, but that's not the highest honor. The highest honor on the earth is to be an Israelite. So if you was gonna try and lie and try and be something, you should have did what your fellow Edomites did. They had the upper hand. They were smarter than you all them years back when they had a chance to pick a lie, right? Back when they had a chance to pick a lie, your fellow Edomites of the house of the tribe Amalek, the small hats, right? The ones that you all can't say nothing about. The October this, October that ones. You know them, guys, right? When you always picking your lies, what you was gonna decide and what you wanted to be instead of being an Edomite. You know, when you all had your whatever Edomite council you had amongst each other and all said, you know what? We've finally destroyed the Israelites. There are slaves now, right? We've got America. We found them. We finally found them hiding away in America. and we found the other ones hiding away in England and different parts of Europe. We found them and found some of them also hiding away in Africa, but we've now gathered them all up to this one place that the one other group of them was hiding, and they've been hiding here for a good couple of thousands of years, but we found them. Right now, we all have to pick a lie. So, what lie are we going to say about these people that we know are really the Israelites? Well, let's call them Israelites first off. Let's say that they're Israelites. We're going to call ourselves Puritans, and we're going to say that they're really the Israelites, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But then, if they're the lost sheep of the house of Israel, we started to read the Bible, and we've realized actually, if they're the lost sheep of the house of Israel, then that means that they're still prophesied to have something good. So let's change that. They're now the Native Americans of the house of Israel, which we know that they really are. But now let's change that, and now let's call them the Canaanites, and we're going to say that we're the house of Israel now. But then after a few years, after we've got the land, we're going to now forget calling ourselves the house of Israel, and we're going to call ourselves Americans, right? Now we're going to call ourselves Americans now that we've got the land. You should have kept the lie of you being Israel, right? Because your fellow other Edomites, they kept the lie. They said, yeah, nah, we ain't Germans and all these things and all this and that. We're Jews. That's the lie we're going to use. We're Jews, and we're going to stay saying that. And you know what? Because we've said that lie, that's the lie we picked to saying we're Jews. So you know what? Now, you other Edomites, since this is the lie we picked and you want me to keep my lie, right? You want me to stay lying? You want me to stay lying? Like, I chose the biggest lie. My lie is more important than your lie. Because if I say I'm not the Jews no more, then who am I going to have to admit that I am? And that's going to leave it open for somebody else to pick that they're the Jews. Now, I'm not saying that this 100% happened in this way, but we know that they all lied. They're all lying about who they really are. I'm just giving it a hypothetical scenario that makes sense in my mind with how they're doing things, man. So then they're like, okay, we've all chose our lies. We've chose the lie that we're the Jews, we're the chosen. So you better help me get that land that the chosen's supposed to have. Otherwise, I may as well just admit that I'm not the people then. So then they'll do it. This is the kind of thing that's happened with these Edomites, man. And they're all trying to win, but they've all got their lies, and they're trying to slightly expose one person's lie, but they can't all expose each other too much. Because if they expose each other too much, they all fall. But they're all at war and at heads with each other, at odds with each other, right? But they can't completely expose the other person's lies, because then they might expose their lie. So they have to pretend that those people really are the children of Israel when they know they're not. But we're starting to see that they're gradually admitting the lie, admitting the truth, man. Or we came out the caves. They're saying that. But when we used to say that they came out the caves, oh, no, he didn't. Caucasian don't mean cave dweller. No, it don't mean that. It don't mean that. And I've got a Bible dictionary that goes into how the Idumeans, the Edom, you know what? I'm gonna do a video on that, after this, I'm actually do a video on that. That would be a good video to do, man. Where either it's under the Edomites or under Idumea, it goes into how the Idumeans were cave dwellers. Right? And that's interesting because that guy, that Miller guy, he said that the Edomites, well, he never said the Edomites, he said we came out of the caves. But the Bible dictionary that I got, another one, goes into how the Edomites were cave dwellers, and I'm going to do a video on that, man. Lord willing, I remember. I'll try and shorten this video, and I'm going to do a video on that, man. Yeah, I want to do a video on that. All right, let me read a bit more. Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother. And they're doing that, literally. I've seen the footage, man. AC scum off our streets. Ponytail grabbed, dashed on the floor. People trying to put a sign in their face. Oh, lefty, get away from me. Pushing them, elbowing mans, kicking man in the ribs. I've seen the footage. People getting bapped in the head with a flag. People going up, recording, all close with the camera, all close with the body cam. Man's hitting people with an overhand left hook, and a right hook to the body. and then trying to shake man's hand. You're a good fighter, I'll give you that, mate. Move your hand. They're against each other. I've been seeing the footage and having a good old laugh, man. Now we know that eventually that anger is gonna be harnessed, and they're gonna be like, you know what? We're all British at the end of the day. We need to get them people, and we already know who the them people is gonna be. It's gonna be us Israelites. But as it stands right now, it's funny to laugh at you Edomites falling apart, man. They're falling at the breaking apart of the seams, man. Over here in the UK and it's over in Babylon. But over in Babylon the Great, it's going to be worse. Because in Babylon the Great, they have the ultimate versions of the sword there. The citizens can get a higher grade of the sword than they can over here in the UK, man. The people in Babylon, the Edomites in Babylon, have a higher access to Esau's blessing. They don't really have a higher access to Esau's blessing over here as they do to Esau's blessing over in Babylon. Verse 2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to their idols and to their charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to wizards. And that's going into the things that's also mentioned in Isaiah 47, where they're going to, in order to try and escape the judgment that's prescribed to them, they're going to try and run. They're going to try and run to all this witchcraft stuff that they do, man, and it's not going to work in that time. Verse 4, and the Egyptians will I give into the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them. So if you have hosts, and that, I guess, can be taken many ways, man. Because ultimately, right now, Nero could be considered that, right? But we're going to be that as Israelites, man, especially Yahushua and King David, right? Yahushua is going to be a fierce king that's going to rule over Esau eventually. And King David is going to be the king below King David that's going to rule over them as well, man. Because King David never liked you Edomites, right? And Yahushua didn't like y'all neither. You think Yahushua don't remember that you tried to unalive him when he was a baby? You think Yahushua don't remember what you Edomites actually did to him on this earth when he was an adult? You think he don't remember? You always want to talk about how, oh, the Israelites betrayed him. Okay, the Israelites betrayed him. Who killed him though? How about you focus on that as well then? Don't try and half talk it. Don't try and come with that black people kill their own black people stuff with this. Because that's how y'all try and do it, man. Which proves also that it's us. Because just the same way y'all say, oh, the Israelites betrayed him, that's the same way you always make that excuse when it comes to trying to talk about us as so-called black people, man. But anyway, I just wanted to do this video, man. If you are paying attention, Yahweh has definitely set up the Egyptians against the Egyptians like he said he was going to, right? And on that, I'm going to say Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Basham Yahushai, Basham Bakakwadash. Shalom to the elected of the nation Israel. Shalom.